about trucking, man. Trucking, what trucking's been like since I started. You know what I mean? As a first timer out here, it's been like, cause it's a whole different experience from what I'm really used to. As far as going to work at a 9-to-5 job all day, and being out here driving through these different states. Oh, look, young boy. Come on. This truck. Right now the wheels are just slipping like crazy. And I got my differential lock on. Yeah, man, but basically what it's been like since I've been out here doing trucking. You know, there's been times where it's been mad stressful. Just being a rookie in general. You go places you can't really maneuver the truck properly. You're running out of drive time. You gotta park. There's only one parking. You gotta fit it between two trucks. When you're not really used to it and you haven't really figured out to maneuver the truck properly, it can be very difficult. Taking piss as you would want to, as funny as it may sound. You know, when you're working a 9-to-5 job, if you need to go use the restroom, you can just easily get up and go to the restroom, you know what I mean? So that was a lot to get used to. Yeah, look at that, the lake is frozen. That's crazy. You know what I mean? But just simple things like taking a piss, that took me a while to get used to doing. Like, you gotta hold it. You know what I mean? You gotta hold it. And that took me a little while for me to get used to. As I said, what else? The cost of everything, dude. Like, the truck stops, everything is mad expensive. Especially when you go to them ones that we fuel at. I'm not gonna call their name to say, you know, but things are mad expensive inside there, though. Like, so by the time you buy one thing to eat there, you spend over 10-15 bucks, and that's just to like get you through half the day. And basically you spend another 10 again. By the end of the day, you spend like 25 bucks a day, dude. Like 2 days, you spend 50 bucks in food, and you're not even full. You know what I mean? 2 days, 4 days, that's 100 bucks. That's not even 5 days. You go to Walmart and you spend, if you spend 100 bucks or 80 bucks at Walmart to get food for yourself, dude, you go, that's like 2 weeks worth of food. Because I can spend a minimum of like 25 bucks, 27 bucks, and that serves me for the week. You know what I mean? It just depends on what you buy. I normally get like a case of water or two. You know what I mean? That's gonna be like probably 6 bucks. And then Walmart got these like dollar loaves that you can get. Speaking of Walmart, there's a Walmart right there. I might stop, as a matter of fact. Walmart got like these dollar loaves that you can get. I get one of those. I get like eggs. You know what I mean? That's gonna make me some sandwiches every now and then. What else? Sometimes I get like cold cut turkey. You know what I mean? Little stuff to make myself a sandwich every now and then, or, you know, and I get stuff to cook Also, I buy some chicken. You know what I mean? Spend like $6. Get me some chicken legs. And I got my skillet inside my truck, so you know, I cook. That's gonna save you a lot of money. I think that's one of the best investments that I've made since I started trucking. OTR trucking is buying myself that little skillet. It was like $35 or $40 at the time, and a microwave. You know what I mean? So I cook from my truck, bro. When I cook, that shit served me like 3-4 days before I gotta buy something again. You know what I mean? I just spent like, but I stopped and I bought a package of flour, some baking powder, and some baked beans. And I came back to the truck and I made some fried dumplings. And I had some chicken and I cooked it up basically with the baked beans. And that cost me almost $5 just to buy the flour, the baking powder, and the baked beans. I already had the chicken inside the truck, and that cost me $4, dude. And that's serving me at least 3 days of eating. And I still got a whole lot of flour that I could still use to cook. I was a chef, so it's easy for me to come up with stuff, you know what I mean, for me to cook. And I'm not a person that's allergic to this or allergic to that, so I'm not a picky eater. I basically eat, you know, whatever my appetite feels for. So it's not difficult for me to come up with different ideas and stuff for me to find to eat. But that's gonna save you a lot of money, man. Mentally, it takes a lot on your mind. The reason why I say that is because starters, bro, you ain't gonna be making a lot of money, or money that you're used to making. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna be making that. So with that being said, if your overhead is high, meaning if you got a lot of bills, maybe your stuff gonna start piling up, because you ain't gonna be making no money. Like with certain companies, it just depends on the company that you choose to go with, you know what I mean, and what your situation is, in terms of if you're a felony, or if you got a felony or you got tickets or whatever is on your background that's hindering you from going to a good company or whatever the case is. I can say this, like, if you ain't got no tickets, or you ain't a felon, or you ain't got nothing to hinder you, sometimes it ain't even tickets or being a felon. Sometimes it's just the location that you live in. You can't really find the good OTR companies that's willing to give you a start. Sometimes they just don't hire out of that area. You know what I mean? In my case, Prime was a good company. I lived in Florida. Prime used to hire out of Florida, but I called Prime for like 5 months straight. Every time I call them, they tell me call back within a month time, because the freight's just slow right now coming out of Florida. But they really ain't they're not hiring out of Florida, bro. You know what I mean? Because they basically tell you, if we hire you out of Florida, we can't get you home because we don't have no freight coming out of there. So they're just not hiring out of Florida. You know what I mean? So with that being said, your overhead, if your overhead's high, you're not making as much, or you're just barely making, you know, just enough to cover your bills out, it's going to take a toll on your mind. It's going to take a toll on your mind, because you're going to sit there and you're going to be like, damn, bro, I used to do this. That's kind of the way I feel sometimes. Like, I know I used to make better money, way better money than what I'm making right now. When I used to be in the kitchen and I have my bills to be paid, I'm still paying my shit, but it's like you don't get the option to like save as much as you'd want to save, or you can't do what you really want to do. But I get that you got to sacrifice some time before you get up to the level. And like one of my homeboy was saying I should come to Butler, while another one was saying I should come to Airline. Couple of guys comment under my videos and say I should come to this company or come to that company. My thing is that, like, I'd like to go local, you know what I mean? Because I have a family and all that stuff. So That's in my case. I'd like to go local. If I could get something that I could go local after 6 months, because I'm basically up to almost 6 months right now in the game. So if I can use that to my advantage and get a local job, then yeah. But if I can't do it, I'm just gonna find a better OTR company that's willing to work with me and give me a start. You know what I mean? So some of those companies that you guys dropped down below, I've been doing my own research. I won't say yet if and when I'll be ready to make the move and leave Trans Am, you know what I mean? But that's basically the plan for right now. But it can take a toll on your mind mentally, bro. Like, if you got a family back home, if you got a wife or you got kids or you got a girlfriend, and you know what I mean, you're out here, you're driving all this time and you're not making as much money, you got to deal with the bullshit from dispatch, you got to deal with the low paychecks. If you got faulty equipment, bro, there's a lot of shit that contributes to, like, mentally you got to be strong, bro. I'm gonna just tell you like it is. Mentally you got to be strong. If you're a person that freaks out easy, Trans Am ain't the company for you, dog. Because this company has a lot of stress, bro. Unlike any other companies, I'm assuming. I've seen guys that say, you know, they were with Trans Am for X amount of time and they leave because they couldn't take it anymore. I agree with you, bro. Like, this shit ain't no joke. You know what I mean? But one thing I can say, they gave me a start. You know what I mean? A lot of companies I called before I got in the game, they weren't willing to hire me. Being a location or whatever it was, they weren't, you know what I mean, nobody else would give me a chance. And Trans Am gave me a chance. So I'm just holding on to that chance that I got. At least it's a start. And like my homeboy had said, once you get your experience, they can't take that experience from you, you know what I mean? You already got your experience, so. What else? It's been like, man, it's been fun. There's been fun times, you know what I mean? It can be fun if you want it to be fun. I'm gonna give you some ideas. You're doing OTR driving. I've driven through like 26 different states. I collect the little magnets, the fridge magnets. I have like 25 or 24 of them right now. I think there's like 2 or 3 states that I've been to before I started collecting them, so I haven't bought them. And I could have just bought them at other gas stations because I've seen them, but kind of gives me a little different vibe when I go to the state and I'm in the state. That's when I usually buy the magnets. So I've been to like 26 different states. You can take your home time in any one of those 26 different states, especially if you ain't gotta go home. Get you a Turo, drive around, go know the place. If you're a free man, you get you a little dating app like them Tinder or that Bumble or whatever they want to call it. You know what I mean? You hook up with some chicks, go have some fun. You know what I mean? What else? Like, I intended to go skiing because I ski. I used to live in the mountains. And my intention was to go skiing in January. So far, them paychecks ain't really letting me go skiing right now, bro. You know what I mean? But I ain't tripping. I still see the way. You know what I mean? It's just that I got some stuff that I got to take care of. So I'd rather take care of what's priority and then leave the pleasure for later. You know what I mean? Still got like 2 or 3 months that I still could go. You know what I mean? I got the truck. I can basically, that's travel expense that I'm eliminating. I'm not paying for a flight. I got the truck again. I could live out the truck. I ain't got to pay for a cabin. All I basically need is just my skis and my helmet and my boots, and that's it. And pay for my lift tickets. You know what I mean? And I could go to so many. I could go to Montana. I could go to Maine. There's a lot of states that I've driven through and I've seen they have ski resorts. You know what I mean? So my intention was to go skiing in some of these states. You know, when the time is right. you know. So it can be fun if you want it to be fun, but mentally it takes a toll on your mind. You gotta be focused, and you gotta be strong. I met this lease driver at Trans Am. I must tell you guys this. I met this lease driver the other day. He said he's been at Trans Am for almost 3 years, and he said he's making good money. I'm not gonna say I don't believe him, because I know a lot of lease guys. I know the lease purchase works here, and it's not the best. You know what I mean? But from what he's telling me, he's like, oh yeah, I'm seeing $2,000 checks. You know, sometimes I see more than 2,000, and whatever the case is. You get retention, you get $100, I think, every month or some shit like that after you get a year, and after you've been a year. So if he's been here almost 2 years, that's an extra $100 he's getting a month. But hey, extra $100, yeah, it's a difference, but it's not much of a difference to make you make that kind of money. One thing he did said that sparked my interest. He was like, I asked him, well, what's his average amount of miles that he's running. He said he runs an average of 3,000 miles, and the dispatch, they normally get Nancy when he goes up to like 3,200 miles. Anything above that, they try to slow him down or stop him. You know what I mean? So it can be true, because if they're having him run that many miles as a lease driver, the way the lease works, 1,800 to 2,000 miles, that's costs. That's basically your truck payment, your insurance, all of your costs. Everything above that is $1.05 a mile. So basically, if you run 3,300 miles, that's 1,300 miles times $1. You know what I mean? Times $1.05. That's the way, you know, if you fuel correctly, and by fueling correctly, you gotta fuel less than what the fuel solution says. You know what I mean? I've run this truck, even though I'm not leased. I've been in instances where my gas light come on, and I've run like 350 miles with my gas light on. You know what I mean? So when that gas light comes on, bro, don't necessarily pay attention to that shit. You still got a lot of fuel in your tank. It's for lease drivers if you all doing that. Don't fuel as much, man. Don't follow the fuel solution. Follow where it tells you to go. But if it tells you, you should be able to calculate how many miles per gallon you're getting. You can play with the screen, and it shows you how many miles per gallon you're gonna average. I would tell you to base it off. Best case scenario, you're getting like 8 miles to the gallon. But worst case scenario, I think if you're gonna calculate it, you should calculate it at like 6 gallons per mile, and then you know how many miles in using your load information. You just times that and divide it, and it's going to tell you how many gallons of diesel is going to take you to get to your location. That's how you work your you figure out how many gallons of fuel you really need, so you don't overfuel and take all your money away. You know what I mean? And there's like tricks to it, like you gotta be running on. That's a whole lot of it, another video. I didn't even want to talk about that, but hey, don't forget, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Any questions, concerns, just drop them down below. Have a safe one.